I'm Wes Ball, director of Kingdom Planet of the Apes.
And I'm Freya Allan, an actor on Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
One of the only live-action humans on the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Yep.
How are you doing? How was the experience on CCEXP in Mexico? I saw you there, and the fans were
very loud. And
I loved it.
Yeah.
All the sound was rattled on the stage. I was like, this is
that
how you
was
watch
the
the
cool
movie, baby.
part.
I was like,
when
yes.
they were showing the clip, it was like this.
The whole stage was like rocking. It was awesome. I was like, that's how we do it. That was good.
The movie is very awesome, and I love it, and I like it, and I very conflicted too, because
It's a good place to be.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good movie to me.
Yeah.
When you talked right 2 hours ago, it was like, yes, I came out like this. I very conflicted because from all the choices that the characters have to make for good of all their people. Have you been in that situation? You have to choose something for good, for the bad.
Aren't we all?
Yeah,
Don't
I feel
we
like
all
it's
have those?
constantly happening.
Don't we all have those things where we're navigating life and we have, sometimes you have to choose the lesser of two evils and those kinds of things. And
Yeah.
to me, those are the stories that stick with you. You know, where you can eat them, you can go to some other movies and yeah, it's fun, it's got, they're empty calories. You know what I mean? And I like movies that you have to think about.
So
and
that's what gets me like leaving the cinema excited.
Yeah.
If I leave and I've just been like, okay, I've just watched a bunch of VFX, cool. Like I have to have been made to think or feel.
Right, yeah. And we said it, but when we were making the movie, we talked about we're giving the audience 2 + 2, not 4. They have to do their own thinking. They have to bring their own ideas into this a little bit. That's part of the fun. But that said, there's a lot of fun. There's a lot of adventure. There's gonna be plenty of that stuff. But for people who want it, there's like great ideas in here to chew on. Which is just fun.
Now the apes are more self-aware and smarter. Do you think that the ability to think implies a big struggle between them?
That's a good question. Probably, right? I mean, I guess we talked about this before, but like, we see ourselves in these characters. They're apes, but really we see ourselves. Even from the '68 original, it was about that, right? So that is the fun, and the fact that, that core story of, can apes and humans live together is really like saying, can two different humans with different cultures live together? Really, is what we're saying. So it is interesting stuff.
Freya, tell us how you prepare for your character, because you are all human in this movie.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think my first thing was I knew that there was a lot of emphasis on the fact that she's kind of like the mystery and that there's a lot of lying going on and kind of, she's very cunning. But I wanted to bring an extra layer and make sure that there also felt like that there was an emotional journey going on, and it wasn't, that her part in it wasn't just that that you could see something more than just that, if that makes sense, more than just her mission. And so that was helped by, I guess, just asking a million questions, having conversations with you, figuring out like what exactly, where I've come from, because actually that hadn't really been fully kind of
completely. It was always, like I said, it was this mystery box thing, right?
Yeah.
But like the movie begins as an ape story, but it ends as a ape and a human story. And so she has an interesting role to play in that, she's very much not when she starts the movie, when she comes into the story, she's not who she ends up being at the very end of the movie. She completely changes into a different character in a way.
Well, I think she just massively surprises herself, and she gets put in positions where she has to make decisions that she didn't think she'd have to be making, and going against even her own nature.
Yeah, and the hope is that we've now introduced these 2 great characters that can go forward into future stories. And it can get really interesting. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, yes.
But for me, I feel like
excited.
what helped me was having these like random little things that I created in the backstory that I could then think about, and that could like weigh on her.
Yeah, and gave the moment's truth.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah.
And just more than just what it was on the page.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's what good actors do, right? They kind of make it real, and they turn it into something that's more than you even thought it would be.
This is amazing. This question is for both of you. What will the humans and apes have to do to not be a threat to each other?
learn how to speak to each other for one. That's a big theme in the movie. You know, May says that somewhere. You know, like she wants humans to be able to speak again. You know, that's a big idea. Like us in our world, if we could just speak to those other people, you know, instead of throwing rocks or whatever it is, like a lot could change.
Yeah, I think a big problem though is that they now have a resentment and they're going to blame their downfall on the apes, and so being able to change a mindset like that is going to be a bit difficult. It's
complicated and interesting, full of many stories, hopefully.
Thank you so much for your time and welcome to Mexico.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Thank you.